Hello, and welcome to today's August 17th daily news report, as well as ongoing stimulus package information video. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now so I can keep you up to date on what's going on in Washington, D.C., the U.S. economy, money, investing, and much, much more. All right, it looks like it's time for me to start saying this again. If somebody using my picture asks you to text about money, your taxes, your debt, whatever, that is a scammer. Never text with anyone on YouTube. It just doesn't make sense to do it. So be smart, don't fall for it, okay? All right, this is your daily reminder to sign up for the August giveaway, where Casey and I are giving away $10,000 in cash as a way of getting a little extra spending money into the pockets of our community members, and as a way of saying thank you for helping me get to over 1 million subscribers. You can sign up each and every day to increase your odds of winning, and it only takes about 20 seconds. I'll make sure to leave a link below. All right, now the next stimulus package and the infrastructure spending bill are in House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's hands. However, she said in an interview that she controls the House, and she isn't going to let moderate Democrats back her into a corner. Progressive Democrats have vowed not to back the physical infrastructure bill without the stimulus package, and moderates have said we won't agree to the stimulus package until the physical infrastructure is signed into law. Pelosi said that she will side with her progressive members and push for the two to pass together at the same time. Pelosi said this week she is focused on getting the massive stimulus package bill written. She said it will call for the extension of the child tax credit monthly checks, the expansion of health care, paid time off for those having children, and tax increases on businesses and those making over $400,000 a year. Pelosi says there's a lot of Democrat agenda items to be put into this bill, and everyone should start submitting what they want added. Now, Senator Bernie Sanders declares a victory for President Biden and all Democrats. He said just two child tax credit monthly checks in, and we've already cut poverty in half. Sanders says checks to families is the way to cut out poverty, and taxing the rich is the way for the government to raise the money to cut these kinds of checks to the people. Sanders is the head of the $3.5 trillion spending stimulus bill and the anti-poverty initiative from the White House. He also firmly believes that monthly checks will solve financial issues in our country, and so we will see if he ends up throwing in recurring checks or a fourth stimulus check based on him proposing it in the past. So he's a big believer that taxing the rich and sending checks to the poor is the way to solve poverty. So we'll see what he ends up putting into this coming stimulus package. By the way, I just want to say thank you guys so much for giving these videos a like. I really appreciate it. It helps me with YouTube, and I just love bringing you guys the news. All right, now regarding the 30% increase in SNAP food stamp benefits, many of you in the comments section asked if you needed to do anything to get that additional money. From what I'm reading and from my research, it looks like you will be automatically added as long as you continue to qualify as someone that gets the SNAP food stamp program benefits. So if you qualify, you're already in. If you don't, then you would need to re-qualify or try to qualify. Now, as of right now, 12% of the country is on food stamps, or about 40 million Americans. As I read this, I couldn't help but think how all these different anti-poverty groups that the White House communicates with keep saying around 25 million Americans would benefit from a fourth or fifth stimulus check. If 40 million people are on food stamps, that it seems like 40 million people would benefit from a $1,000 or a $2,000 stimulus check, which would be about $40 to $80 billion. If they removed kids, because kids are already getting $250 a month through the end of December, then the number is actually closer to about $20 billion. So for this reason, I still think a fourth stimulus check is on the table, but it's not on the table for 167 million Americans, and it won't cost $400 billion, right? So you can see how if they followed these numbers and who actually needs a check, it's actually a much smaller price tag, right? All right, now regarding the border situation, things could change very soon. A federal judge has ordered the Department of Homeland Security to restart the Remain in Mexico policy, where an illegal immigrant is caught and returned to Mexico versus right now where they're put up in a hotel on taxpayer dollars to await a court hearing, or they're bussed off to other parts of the country only to skip their court hearing. So it seems Border Patrol will be able to have more options and more leverage at the border. Now, speaking of Border Patrol, agents released a report yesterday of their biggest drug bust yet. Border Patrol encountered a shipping container with 2.8 tons of meth and fentanyl entering the country illegally. Just to give you an idea, that's enough drugs to kill every American 4 times. It's just a huge amount of drugs, right? Now, regarding the Afghanistan situation, right now the military is trying to secure and beef up safety at the Kabul airport. There are still between 5,000 to 10,000 Americans trapped in the city and another 20,000 outside of the city. According to an interview on CNN, with John Kirby, the press secretary for the Pentagon, there is no plan in place to get these Americans out of the country. The plan is for them to continue to hide and evade Taliban soldiers until they can make their way to the airport. Now, according to reports, the streets of Kabul have changed dramatically within one day. There are almost no women on the street right now. Soldiers are going door to door looking for women. There were pictures of women with like beauty product advertisements. Those have either been ripped down or covered in white paint. The first female mayor in Afghanistan tweeted that she and her family are in hiding and will likely be executed when they are found. So things are unraveling very, very quickly there. Yesterday, President Biden flew in from Camp David to address the nation. He said he believes he made the right decision and stands by it. He blamed former President Trump and said that the war needed to come to an end. He discussed how the military will work with to get U.S. citizens and loyal Afghans back to the United States. Biden also said that this was the Afghan military's fault, not the U.S. military's fault. He then flew back to Camp David. The Chinese government is already recognizing the Taliban as the new rulers of Afghanistan and said that they look forward to working with them on rebuilding. They've pledged $60 billion to the Taliban to rebuild. China then sent warships to positions outside of Taiwan. Now, this is where it could get really, really bad because Taiwan is the #1 maker of chips for cars, phones, and almost all electronics that you use. If China controls Taiwan, they control the world. Some are saying China knows there are trillions of dollars of elements and minerals in Afghanistan for batteries and smart chips that the world will need. So basically, they're going to try and control Taiwan, and then they're going to extract all of those rare earth elements out of Afghanistan in an attempt to control the world. China continues to make big moves in the world economy without firing a single shot. So their military approach is very different than other countries. The U.S. stock market is down over the past 2 days as people process the Afghanistan situation, the $3.5 trillion worth of money that could inflate the number of dollars in circulation, and the coming debt ceiling deadline. If you are one of 9 million people still collecting unemployment, there are now 10 million jobs available. Unemployment benefits will come to an end in September. The hottest job areas right now with better than average pay are warehouse workers and anything related to trucking, whether that's driving, dock work, scheduling, forklift, lots of job opportunities there. Now, let me tell you this. If you've never driven a forklift, then you are missing out. They're super fun. All right. Also, Amazon, Burlington, and Dollar Tree say that they're offering $1,000 signing bonuses for new employees. And this will likely become a trend as we get closer to the major U.S. holidays. So this is a big week in Washington, D.C. for new programs, updates, modifications, and removals of what will ultimately end up in the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. And I'll be here all week to go over those with you and make sure that you understand them. All right, now before you go, do make sure to sign up for that giveaway that Casey and I are doing. I'm excited to give that money away. 5 of you are going to win $1,000 and 20 of you are going to win $250. So total of 25 winners. That link will be below. Now, this is my update for today. As I know more, I will definitely come on and share more. Before you go, I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.